Hey everybody, I'm Nico.
And that makes me Kevo.
And this is mcu.html
/ Marvel. Why not?
Captain Peggy is the lady hero with the shield now.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say that that's not the plot of this episode.
No, you can't. There were a lot of really cool things about it. I loved a lot of it. The style, the performances. A lot of it was really cool. But there was also stuff where, like, how we're literally just slamming the shield down on the bar. It was just, well, this was the plot of the movie, so...
I also enjoyed that it was sort of like a Marvel Darkly, that the animation was a little bit on the nose, a little bit photo traced. I thought it had the right visual components that made it feel like the kind of episode I needed Marvel Animation to kind of relaunch their studio out of. For those who aren't familiar, What If is a long-standing Marvel tradition in which Uatu the Watcher would frequently be like, yeah, so you guys know how Tony Stark's an alcoholic? Well, you know, in this other world, it might have been Jimmy Rhodes who had the drinking. And so Tony was like, nah, don't do that, right? And that's what the Watcher is like sometimes. And then you get a What If, and it's like, I'm James Rhodes, and instead I'm the star of this narrative. And it frequently was something like that. What if James Rhodes had gone through the Demon in a Bottle storyline? Or what if Jane Foster had picked up the hammer of Thor? There were lots of things like that. Of course, there were also some equally kind of dumber ones, and they were usually published in something called Wah-huh? And Wah-huh was the what ifs that were too stupid to be what ifs.
I thought you were joking at the beginning.
No.
I thought that was a joke.
No. Or what the? Yeah, there's.
Okay, what the?
Yeah, but there's also a Wah-huh.
Yeah. Okay, I believe you.
I actually really loved this story from the outset. You know, more Peggy. I perhaps am a Cap fan. More Steve, great. I'm so there for that. I was perhaps not expecting what I got, which was what if Captain America, the first Avenger, was about Peggy Carter instead. I didn't expect the direct translation, like kind of beat for beat in 30 minutes. Just to kind of hit on it real quick, I do think Brian Andrews and A.C. Bradley, director and writer of this episode, did an amazing job getting us hooked in.
You know, we've been really big fans of A.C. Bradley's for several years already. We loved her work on Troll Hunters Tales of Arcadia, which is a phenomenal cartoon show over on Netflix.
Guillermo.
Yeah, no, it's from Guillermo. She did an amazing job over there throughout the entire series. And so what? What did you do?
I winked with the wrong eye.
So we knew that we loved her work going into this.
Which is great.
Brian Andrews, we love for being a storyboard artist on 12 MCU films.
What?
Iron Man 2, The Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Avengers Infinity War, Captain Marvel, and Avengers Endgame.
So all three first phases.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
So that's the person who is the director on this What If series. And I can't imagine someone who is more competent or more, like, just literally more perfect for this role than someone who worked on storyboarding so much of the first 23 films.
Talk about a guy who knows the beats of these films, right?
And as if that wasn't enough, they bring in so much of the original talent to play all the characters, reprising roles even from deep cuts like Marvel one-shots. We only ever saw Bradley Whitford before in that one Agent Carter one-shot that we covered
bazillions of years ago.
So long ago now.
This episode sees the return of Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter, Sam Jackson as Nick Fury, Jeremy Renner, Stanley Tucci, Dominic Cooper, Bradley Whitford, Neil McDonough, who's just too dreamy, Sebastian Stan, Toby Jones. Okay, so then there's some interesting additions. I loved Josh Keaton.
Josh Keaton, the
Great
beautiful,
choice.
amazingly talented voice actor Josh Keaton.
Daryl Hammond comes in to play just a Nazi general. Everybody gets to be part of the Marvel Universe. I'm not shitting on anybody. Just that's an underuse of a guy.
Small role, and you question, like, was he that excited to be on the show, or did they call him? I don't know. That's just so random. Maybe he'll be in more.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of it.
And it makes me angry that the voice actor for the Red Skull is so good looking. But Ross Marquand is a phenomenal stand-in for Hugo Weaving because he doesn't want to be bad guys anymore. Who could blame Hugo Weaving for not wanting to be bad guys anymore?
But I love that he won't even voice the character.
I wouldn't. He's such a Nazi piece of shit. And like,
I get that. I really do.
It's that it's Nazi piece of shit. It's not that he's a bad guy. It's not that he sucks, you know, because like if I were Lee Pace and I got that fit to play Ronan the Accuser as opposed to Ronan the Hawkeye, if I had gotten that fit to play Ronan the Accuser, and they only ever had me do this, like, he sucks, but like Lee Pace is so talented. If they gave him more to work with, I could see him thriving. The Red Skull, when you peel back that top red layer,
God, they always do the peel reveal, don't they?
There's just sort of more Nazi garbage underneath. For that reason, I do feel as though kind of the best we can hope for from this character at any point is maybe get to his daughter Sin. We could run that storyline for a little bit, but I don't really think there's any need to get Mondo star Hugo Weaving to come back, play this piece of garbage when there's amazing voice actors out there who need the paycheck while Hugo Weaving can go be King of the Elves forever. Oh, and Agent Smith. He's also Agent Smith. But okay, so essentially they're doing the whole thing and they're gonna roid up Steve real nice, real good. Grr. They decide that the moment of change is whether or not Peggy stays in the room.
And I really respect that being the change. I don't think that they connected the dots well between that choice and her becoming the super soldier, because I don't feel there's any reason why that guy would pull the lighter early. In the film version, he doesn't do it until Steve is already in the device, and there's just no reason why they make that the change.
Well, I just like that it was a way to give her agency.
Yes, I do too.
She was the catalyst of her own change.
And everything about that being the choice and her choosing to be involved and be in the room. And then there is that recurring line from Bradley Whitford's character throughout the rest of the episode, "You're lucky to be in the room," that she then flips on him in the end. All of that is really beautiful. I just don't feel that they made that affecting the flow of events really clear.
And I get what you're saying. It seems like a nebulous moment to connect to the outcome, which is Steve is injured in the ensuing melee instead of getting in the machine. Peggy gets in the machine, gets real buff, and she becomes Captain America. They sort of fast forward us through her early adventures in an even more fast forwarded kind of version of what they gave us for Steve. The interesting change I was not expecting was that Bucky still plays a part in this, and he's still like part of their team. And so I'm like, oh look, we're on a train and here's Bucky. Oh boy, say bye-bye to the arm, bucko. And then no, we say bye-bye to Steve, who has remained her loyal Guy Friday as she has become the American gladiator, punching down Nazis like nobody's business. I mean, still British gladiator, but you know, she's playing the Captain America role instead.
Yeah.
And I found myself charmed by the fact that when I initially picked up the new Lego What If set for Captain Carter, I was disappointed that the thing it came with was a giant Hydra mech. I was so annoyed. I perhaps was excited because I just wanted to have this Captain Carter figure, and I wound up modding mine a little bit, and I was able to kind of get a classic Captain Britain out of it with some other pieces. So, of course, I needed to pick up a new copy of the What If Lego set. And now that I'm aware that this guy is actually Steve Rogers.
Hydra Stomper.
Yeah, acting as kind of an Iron Man as her backup. I just think it's so much lovelier, and I think it's a really nice touch that even surprised me. So I'm really excited to do a live build of this set that we're going to throw up on the channel, and we are going to put this guy together because I think that's what Steve would have wanted. The thing that I did really appreciate was that Steve did not lose his arm and get Winter Soldiered, and what if we get a what if Steve was Peggy Carter's Winter Soldier from what if Peggy Carter had been Captain America. I'm super glad we didn't get that. And instead, he just winds up, yeah, that's Carl. And you kind of think he's going to sacrifice himself again to save the day. And he doesn't. Instead, we lose Peggy. Peggy is the one lost to the ice.
Yeah, but instead it's tentacle porn. And that of all of the weird moments of this what if, that's definitely the what the is of them all. I just don't even know what to say about the choice to make it instead a portal with a giant tentacle monster coming through, and she pushes it back, and then she still comes back in 2012, clearly by the tag. How is she time displaced? What is it just boggles the mind, and I'm not trying to say it's bad. Maybe that's part of it, that it's all building towards something, and maybe the dimension that Red Skull tapped into was actually like Dormammu-ish, Doctor Strange-ish. Who knows? A lot of the beats just sort of did follow the movie in ways where they pulled little tweaks where, haha, Bucky doesn't lose his arm, but he makes a joke about almost losing his arm. Haha, you think Steve is the one who made the Bucky sacrifice, but instead Steve survives. Again and again and again. Steve should have died from that bullet wound. I'm not saying I wanted him to.
No, yeah.
But his weak little body takes way too much punishment throughout this episode that we are painted a very vivid picture of Steve Rogers in the first Avenger. And he should not have survived a lot of the stuff that was thrown at him. But I do feel that his contribution, especially as Hydra Stomper, to supplement Captain Carter, really did add a lot and made this incarnation of the character and those heroes so much cooler. A lot of it was due to the animation, obviously. It's that Dawn's a Giant problem that I felt when we got the Buffy Season 8 comics, and immediately one of the first things they do is turn a character into a giant because they can, because they don't need to worry about budget, because it's just drawn. It's animation. So Peggy can fly through the air and
punch through propellers
and land on Hydra Stomper's back. It makes sense in the context of they got the Tesseract, that they were able to build the thing. I don't question that. But because there's no budget, they can do so many more fantastical things.
And I feel like it actually worked in their benefit here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they didn't do anything so fantastical that I was insulted.
Okay.
It wasn't abusive. It was all within the realm of my expectation of a Marvel project. So none of it bothered me here. I am excited to see how that's going to play out across the next few episodes, if they're all going to have that sort of stark realism to the suspension of disbelief in the most unrealistic ways. But I am eager to see, because this episode has me hooked.
I wonder if that need to push the boundaries because of the limitlessness of the budget is part of why they felt they need to do Tentacle Monster, because they needed to do something so much more dramatic.
I get that. I'm really excited to see what the next few episodes hold. I think one of the things about What If that's so exciting is just like the Watcher's almost surprising end caps being so dramatic and severe. I sort of expected Jeffrey Wright to come in and be like, this is the thing. This is also the thing. Bye. But instead he had some really great monologue. It really fit what I wanted What If to be, and I'm excited for more.
Yeah, me too.
So until next time, I'm going to build this guy, and we're going to be covering more amazing stuff here on our channel.
And until then, why not?
It's
so terrible.
Hey guys, if you like that cut, do be sure to like some of our other materials. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out these other amazing videos here at X's for Podcast. Now keep going. Get your shit together.
Get your shit together.